Half a day, everybody. It's your girl Annie Fay Camacho with another episode of Fanachu. It's a great episode, and I'm just here to do a little intro before the intro because, and I'm sorry to admit this, I have yet again had another audio issue. I know, I get it. Annie, this is the third audio issue. How could you do it again and again and again? I don't know how I did this again and again and again. So, for the third time in a row, is it a row? I don't know. But for the third time, I want to apologize to the person I interviewed, CJ Ochoco. It was such a wonderful interview, and I'm so sorry that I had an audio issue. The audio gets better in the second half, I swear. Okay, just so you know, here's the first half of the video, right? The audio.
Yeah, I just found out yesterday that this Libra season is all about like radical change. And I was like, yes, but also, ooh, what's gonna happen? You know?
I can't tell you that.
I feel like our lives are full of radical change, so it's gonna be even more radical.
Right. No, not pretty. Not too great. Not too good. Sorry. And you know, it gets a little worse before it gets better. But here's the second half of the interview.
But the thing about all of our cultures is we were all storytellers, right? And so the idea behind all of our productions at the end of the day is that we're telling stories, and we believe that the stories of the people of Guam and the people in this region are important enough to be on that stage, and to see your stories matters to us.
Oh, see how crisp that is? See how you could hear every single word, every breath I take, every step I make. So sorry that the first half did not save. Don't understand it, but I swear, guys, it's a great interview. We talk about a lot of amazing work that's being done at Humanities Guåhan, breaking waves, and just art scene in general on Guam. It's so, you know what? I almost spoiled it. I'm not gonna spoil it. You just gotta watch. So shout out to CJ, shout out to everyone at Fanachu, and shout out to you for pushing through the first half of the episode. I was thinking of cutting it and just summarizing it, but CJ is so she's so articulate and charismatic. I just had to leave it. Like, you just had to hear it for yourself. So there are going to be a few points because there's two cameras, and I took the audio from one camera and tried my best to fix it, but because I'm not facing the camera, sometimes my audio doesn't really pick up. So you're going to hear a little chime that sounds like this, and that means that the Annie that is sitting in the coffee shop that you see right now is going to do a little voiceover summary so you can hear what's up, and then you'll hear the ting again, which goes like, and then it's back to the original video. Alright, well, thanks for pushing through, thanks for being here, and I hope you enjoy.
Half a day, everybody. I'm back with another episode of Fanachu. Who am I? I just realized. Didn't even say who I am. My name is Annie Fay Camacho. I'm the co-chair of Media and Solidarity at Humanities Guåhan, and I help a lot with the Fanachu podcast every couple episodes. You know, I would say every month, but let's be real, you know, life hurts, and sometimes you just don't have time to do an episode. So shout out to the team. Shout out to everybody on the team for making great content out here. And today we're going to have another great episode for you today, because I am joined by the one and only CJ. Clap. Never happened.
Hello. Hi, friends. Half a day. My name is CJ Ochoco. I wear two hats depending on the time of day. I'm either the executive director for Humanities Guåhan, brand new, so I've only been in the role for officially 6 months at the time of this recording. And then my other hat is that I am the president of Breaking Waves Theater Company and the primary producer for our productions and events. So that's my day job, my night job, but they all kind of just permeate through all my life, and that's my basic introduction.
Okay. You love the arts.
I do. I love the arts. I love the humanities. I love community, and I think that's where my hats come from.
No, I was just thinking about that. I was thinking about how I came to know you, and this idea of breaking wave in theater and all that. I met CJ back during undergrad, and I was just being silly in the theater department. And actually, when we turned up, we have the same birthday. So this comes out in October, so Viva Libra season. Say happy birthday to all your Libras. Be careful out there. Libra season can be socially dangerous. Let's calm down. I'm looking at all of you. Calm down.
Yeah, I just found out yesterday that this Libra season is all about like radical change. And I was like, yes, but also, ooh, what's gonna happen? You know?
I can't tell you that.
I feel like our lives are full of radical change, so it's gonna be even more radical.
I feel it. You know the amount of TikTok where it's just like a tarot reading is like take what resonates with you. I'm like, I'm not taking anything. You better get that away from me. We're gonna get a red foot. They're like, oh, there's gonna be a change in your life. I'll be like, you better change it back.
Right. Like, could it be like sleeping season, resting? But no, they're like, Libras are going through radical changes this month.
Yeah.
So, yes, this will come out at the tail end of Libra season, so I hope we all make it in one piece by the time this is released.
Thoughts and prayers to all of us, to all of you. But, yeah, I was thinking about how, like, I first came to know you through that, and then just thinking of, like, the trajectory of the things you're doing, how it does go around the community, like, the reason I loved theater, not just the expression, for, like, you know, just the art of it, but it was, theater has just this, very strong sense of community. It's just, everyone's just so supportive and just kind of struggling together in a way. And then another reason why I was thinking about community and not just about your work in general, I was thinking about the last time I saw you.
Yep.
And I was just thinking about, man, you gotta really love what you do to do what you did.
Yep.
And CJ, what did you do? Tell the audience what I'm thinking of.
Well, you also did it, so hats off to both of us. But we, through a project with Humanities Guåhan and joint project with University of Guam, which is why you were there, we went to Palawat, which if you're listening and you don't know what Palawat is, it is a very, very small island that is part of the FSM, specifically Truk. And it is a 21-hour boat ride from the main island of Truk. So Annie and I were both there, and we both had very different experiences because we were on separate boats over, and that was just the wildest. That boat ride was like the wildest experience of my life. And then we got to land on this beautiful, beautiful island of Palawat with the most welcoming people, and it was beautiful, but it was definitely like an experience for a lifetime because, of course, there's no running water or electricity other than like the generator here and there. We did have Starlink though, so that was, I did not expect that, and that was a blessing for sure. But it was truly like a journey, and what we were doing there was we were filming a documentary for Humanities Guåhan through funding from the National Endowment for Humanities to document navigational chants. So that was just such a beautiful opportunity, especially because a lot of those chants reference the Marianas, and a lot of the people there are still, doing traditional navigation, which you know a lot about as an apprentice, of course. And so that was just super wild because of the environmental factors, but also like once in a lifetime, life changing, and we definitely trauma bonded there. So.
Yeah, for sure, forever bonded.
Yeah.
I just remember even, because I was there before her, the week before her, and I remember landing in truck, and they're like, oh yeah, CJ and home police coming. And I was like, CJ? As in, Ochoco? I was like, no, you must be mistaken. That's CJ? And I was like, she knows what she's signing up for, right? Because that's not fun. I was like, that journey is not Welcome to the Wii.
Yeah, now I'm not like, it's so funny, the other day we were walking out into like this balcony area and it's a little scary and my friends were like, aren't you scared right now? And I was like, I'm not scared of anything anymore after Palawan. It's like nothing will scare me after I've been out in the open ocean for 20 hours on a tiny boat. And relatively tiny, but yeah.
Now I'm like, I feel like I'm more sensitive to the cold down after all that shivering.
Yes, oh yeah.
All that rain.
Yeah, we got rained on our way back, so we were on the boat together back, and it was like a torrential storm in the middle of the open ocean.
When I heard that thunder, and I was like, there's nowhere to hide. I just looked around, I was just silent. You know what's real suffering? When you look around and no one just says a word, right? Everyone was just like,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, I guess I'll just sit here in the thunder and lightning.
Yeah. So trust the universe.
And we made it.
We did.
And we had, again, like you said, that was just like truly a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah. I'm really grateful we got to experience it, despite the situation, but I think it's something we'll remember forever. And I know when we see that documentary and we're able to read and see those chants, it's going to be worth it.
So how did that, specific documentary come to be? Because I didn't know about it until to be honest, I didn't know about it until I actually struggling with this. You're gonna do this, and this. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. I never heard anyone do that. How did that go?
So the project idea actually came before I started, since I just started April 2024. But I know the idea of it came because there was a grant opportunity to do a project that preserved something that was at risk due to the climate crisis. And so the idea behind this is that, Palawan is actually disappearing, right? And I think the numbers are in 40 to 50 years, the entire island will be underwater. But of course, the land is so precious, but also the knowledge that the people hold, because the reason why, because you might be like, why is Humanities Guåhan or University of Guam going all the way to Palawan to record chants there? And it's because, back in the ancient times, we were all navigating together, but then due to colonization, of course, the Marianas stopped the navigation, but the people of Palawan and Lamotrek, they all kept it going, which I know you know, but for our audience, they kept it going, and so they were able to preserve these chants from thousands of years ago that were actually given to the Marianas, and they have been giving it back as, we continue the practices here and start to revive that. So I thought that was just so beautiful to know that they've held it on for the Marianas, and to now be able to document that and then talk about it, especially when we talk about I think the larger scale of the issues we face here on the island, and the prejudices and racism against people of these islands, that and to know that we've known each other for so long, for thousands of years. So I thought that was really beautiful. And as a Humanities Council, we want to encourage that kind of discourse. So uplifting our cultures and our connections, and celebrating our differences, but unifying on when we come together.
In this section, I asked CJ what it's been like stepping into her new role as the Executive Director of Humanities Guåhan.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful experience. Actually, because of my work in theater, I got to work with Humanities a few times as an undergrad and post-grad, just helping with some events. So I've always known the work they do, but it's been really transformative to actually step into the role and understand not just what our council does, but really the other 55 state and territory councils and what they all do, and how we all kind of work together for this collective mission to uplift the humanities. But I think what I've learned even more is not just uplifting the humanities, but making it accessible. And that's kind of my vision with this organization stepping in, is the scholarly stuff is super important, of course. At the university, or you're at the university, you're studying as well. But I think making the humanities more accessible to the public and helping, especially on our island, of folks understanding what the humanities are, because a lot of people don't know. And by definition, humanities are things like history, culture, religion, philosophy, anything that kind of would live in the humanities building of those classes. But it's so much more than that. It's more than just scholarly papers and scholarly conferences. It's about how one of the executive directors of a different council said it best, where the humanities is the story of people. And I really was like, I like that. That's like the simple way to put it. It's like we use the humanities to understand who we are and where we're going. And so with that in mind, it's been really great to hear about the projects the council has been doing, and then dream and envision what we'll do for the future. And actually around this time that this is coming up, this podcast will be released, we'll be getting into our strategic planning, where we'll meet with community members to ask the community, like, what do you need from us? Because we're really fortunate to have our funding through the National Endowment of the Humanities, and so I really want to see the organization become a good steward of that. Like, it's not just about uplifting our organization, but it's really about uplifting all the other organizations and people that are doing this work, preserving our history and dreaming of a future based on that. Thank you. That's my Miss Universe audition.
In this section, I talk about how I love meetings like that and community gathering. And then we get into a little talk about how the art scene lately, within the last year or so, has really been popping off with a lot of independent events and artists just doing their thing, getting together and having a great idea and thinking, you know what, I could get some friends together. Why do I have to wait for this to happen? I can make it happen myself.
For sure. I feel like, when we were in undergrad, there was a good number of events, but it was always like few and far between. But now it's like at any given time, there's an art exhibit going on, and it's always a super cool art exhibit. There's we're exploring different things like zines. They had that big zine event the other week, and just zine. I'm not sure.
I think I only see zine, but I feel like it's like gift thing.
Right. But magazine, so zine. Sorry, my little trails that I follow. But yeah, I really think I agree with you. It's so bustling, and I love seeing that it's not just for adults. There's so many intergenerational arts events that are happening, which I think is not something we saw a lot. But seeing like all ages music shows and these workshops, and especially things that have been offered at free or low cost to the community, that's been really beautiful to see. Project Inspired does so much workshops. So many other organizations that are doing great things, and it's great. And I don't know what's led to it. It might be, a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people have left and come back, like myself, and I think realizing that there's so much potential here, that you don't have to be on island to have like a robust art scene, which has always been the dream, even with starting Breaking Waves. So I'm so happy to start to see it grow.
Yeah. I think that speaks to what you were talking about earlier about just accessibility.
Yeah.
Right? I think, especially like the all ages show, I'm like, oh, like rap shows like that.
Right.
Where you'll see like, just certain things where it's like catered to like the age group, places that are younger, but also like older generation. Yeah. Like everybody at any age, deserves to have access to art, access to community.
Right. It's so beautiful, because I remember growing up and, being like a angsty teenager, being like, there's nothing to do on Guam. But now it's like, oh my gosh, there's like too many things to do, and I feel FOMO because I'm missing out on all the shows.
No, for real. Yeah. Speaking of Libra season, it's supposed to be social. I think it's getting too much, guys. If I have to buy another ticket, if I have to get another ticket, and you know what, I will. Let me say that. Invite me. Keep inviting me. I may get FOMO.
Yeah.
But it's like, wow, it's just like, I think it's beautiful to be like, to have this kind of problem,
Yeah.
you know? To be like, oh, I want to go to this, but it's happening at the same time.
Right,
So
exactly.
it was like, I think that like, maybe one every couple months.
Right, yeah. It's a good problem to have, and I want to, I want us to keep having that problem with that. There's just so much to do because I want, the kids, the angsty teenagers on Guam that we were, to know that you, like, if you want to move, if that's for you, that we all have our journeys, but if you want to stay, that there is the opportunity to flourish as a creative, as an artist, here on the island too. That's always been the goal of starting Breaking Wave, was to encourage a creative economy on Guam, to let people, I mean, we're not there yet, we pay people, but it's not gonna, like,
We're working our way.
yeah, it's not gonna pay your bills, but it'll pay for some stuff. It'll pay for fun things if you work at Breaking Wave.
Yeah.
But just the idea that the artists on Guam deserve, money for the work that they do, and trying to garner that community support. So I'm glad to see that it's growing, for sure.
That note, I feel like we mentioned Breaking Wave a lot, but can you just tell us generally about Breaking Wave for the viewers that haven't heard about it, and why haven't you guys? Keep up.
Yeah.
Keep up.
I'm realizing, because we took a little bit of a lull during the pandemic, so it was like all the people who knew us, and then now it's like, oh, who is this company? You've been here for 6 years? What are you doing? And so I'm happy to give like an introduction or reintroduction to Breaking Wave. We're actually sitting in our Breaking Wave space right now, which is really wild. We're 6 years old, and this is the first time that we have our own workshop and rehearsal space, an office space. It's not a space yet for shows, but it's a space for all the other things. Because prior to this, we've been just renting. Shout out to the University of Guam and the program there. We all came from that program, so we often have rented space there. But it's super nice to have our own home with our Facebook Marketplace couches. Very grateful to be here today. But yeah, so Breaking Wave Theater Company is a nonprofit organization, and we are specifically geared towards theater, as you can tell from our name. But our mission and our belief is that the arts and theater can nurture individuals and build community. And so 6 years ago, a lot of us were post-grad trying to decide what we wanted to do next. We were encouraged to go get our master's off island because you can't get a MFA on Guam right now. But a lot of us weren't ready to leave. And so we were like, what happens for the people who aren't ready or don't want to leave, right? Like, MFAs aren't for everyone. I have 2 masters and none of them have an F in it. They're just, I have a master's of arts and a master's of science, but, what can we do? Because it was always nice, of course, to come back home to the University of Guam and volunteer for shows there. It's always nice to support the other theater productions. Like, my Uncle Ernest, does a lot of game, and we'd always go help him. But we were like, we also need something else. We need something for the folks who maybe don't want to do musicals, for the folks who don't want to go to school, but still want to do theater. And more importantly, we were like, we need something that's really, like, open, so we don't have to follow the constraints of, like, being associated with a school or jewelry or anything like that. And so we created Breaking Wave. And for the past 6 years, we've been doing various productions, events, and workshops that are all geared towards using theater for social change and theater for, like, personal development. And so what that means is we've done shows like our Unspoken series, which will actually come back for the first time next year. But for 3 years in a row, from 2019 to 2021, we did Unspoken, which was a collection of original works surrounding the theme of mental health, substance abuse, and suicide prevention. So that was just a really beautiful healing experience for all of us, and we usually partner with the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jibwick. Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center.
There you go, that's one.
Jibwick, for all those productions, and so. And then we've, of course, done things with University of Guam, like the Toronto Play Festival, to uplift Chamorro playwrights, but also to uplift seeing and hearing the Chamorro language and culture on stage. We've also delved into, uplifting the larger micronesian culture. We brought over Tiana Productions in 2022 to do their show Masters of the Current, which addresses the biases against the Micronesian culture in Hawaii, but very relevant to Guam. And so those are the kinds of works we do. And then we do improv workshops, we do acting workshops, and things that we try to offer for free. We've also done a summer camp because we're trying to expand and ensure kids have free or low-cost accessible ways to access theater. Sorry, I just like word vomited, but that's kind of our history.
No, I love that. I'm already marking my calendar for everything.
Yes.
I'm so excited for all of that. I mean, I think especially like Unspoken. I forgot about that. That was like one of my. I think that was one of my favorite things that you guys did. Cause, well, I mean, bias, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know, I also work in the mental health field. So art and mental health, come on, sign me up.
Yes.
Sign me up. I'm there.
Yeah.
But I like all the events that you were just talking about, like, and the workshops. I love how it's very grounded in something important.
Yeah.
Right? So Unspoken with, mental health, but the Chamorro plays with culture, and then the theater one.
Yeah.
Like, I remember watching that, and that was,
Yeah.
I had no idea what it was going
Right.
in, but me and my friends were like, we try to go to every production that we can, right?
Right.
On Guam. I remember going that blind. I was like, no, I'm not even gonna read the back. I just want to I just want to go in. I just want to feel it. I remember crying a little bit. I was like, oh, wait, no, I know this is Hawaii, but yeah, like you said, it's very much like a problem on Guam too.
Right.
All
And
these
that's,
biases.
yeah, because I love all kinds of theaters. Like I love musicals, of course. I love musicals and all of that, but I really, most importantly, love theater and arts that challenge us, that inspire us, that remind us of our shared humanity. And so I'm really grateful to have folks alongside me on the board and the team of Breaking Wave that are equally as passionate with using theater and the arts as a platform to inspire change. Yeah.
No, I think that's beautiful, and not only does it get people, we don't have. I mean, UOG theater is doing great work with putting productions, but to have an extra company out there that's not just putting on things that you could do on the things that you could watch on the weekend. This is, of course, something you can watch on the weekend,
Right.
but it's also you're leaving the theater with a little something more,
Right.
You learned a little something, you felt a little something,
Yeah.
right? And it's also something that is you in a sense, right? It's not just a play that was reproduced,
Right.
That kind of, it's, general themes of humanity and all that, but this
Right.
is more centralized, being like, no, this
Yeah.
is your people, this
Yep.
is your culture, this is something that we know is going on
Yeah.
with you.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, that's something we really tried to do because we're really passionate about decolonizing theater and the arts and going away from the Western structures and really going back to the indigenous roots because, some folks are indigenous to Guam, some of us, like myself, indigenous to the Philippines and other areas. But the thing about all of our cultures is we were all storytellers, right? And so the idea behind all of our productions at the end of the day is that we're telling stories, and we believe that the stories of the people of Guam and the people in this region are important enough to be on that stage, and to see your stories matters to us. And And we did like last year in partnership with UOG, we did an oral storytelling project where we had 5 Chamorro writers in the diaspora and on Guam interview one of their elders. So they get to choose which elder they wanted to interview. And through the process of almost 2 years, interviewed and then workshopped those interviews and turned them into scripts. So, about the stories that were shared, and then we produced it as a stage reading last year because we'll be aiming to put it into a full production in the next year or two. And the feedback we got from people was just like, wow, that's just like my tata or my nana, and that's so relatable. And and just to hear that feedback is always so beautiful, because we have so much media, so much access, right, through the streaming services and what we see, but we don't often get to see ourselves or hear ourselves on stage.
No, that's so true. And I think it's a great service to the community that you guys are doing. But it's not easy work, I assume.
No.
You know? So I guess I don't know if you guys are interested in this, but get interested because I just want to selfishly ask for myself. But I'm sure someone out there is gonna love this question, but I kind of just want to know more about like the production side of it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like we see all this product, but it's not easy just building something from the ground up like you have. It's 6 years running already, and like this is your first space, which I love. Just the idea of you guys finally having this space for yourselves, but like this journey could not have been easy, right?
No, not at all. Prior to the starting of Breaking Wave, there hadn't been a nonprofit geared towards theater for 20 years. So that was in itself a journey of learning, teaching ourselves how to start a nonprofit. None of us, I was going to school to study arts leadership at the same time. So I was like learning it in school while actively trying to do it. So none of us came in with
You were
like,
going through your notes being like, hey guys, today I learned.
Right. We didn't like come out of the womb nonprofit professionals. We were like, this is a lot. And so I'm really grateful to my co-founding members like Chris Santiago, Jerome Ocampo, Joey Datuin, and Sierra Sevilla, because without them, I really could not have done it. Chris, of course, too, was my vice president for a while and really instrumental in the nonprofit management. So the way we've really truly done it is through the community, and that's the people who are our members and who do our shows, as well as the people who come to our shows and help give us money to do these shows. So the thing about Breaking Wave is we, again, in honoring non-Western values of not having too much of a hierarchy, we have a co-leadership structure, but all of us co-leaders have our own day jobs, which is funny. You know, of course, my day job's humanities, so it's very related, but like my vice president, James Averman's day job is in the crime lab. So we all are like vastly different careers in our day, but really our passion is theater. But again, this doesn't quite pay the bills yet. So if you're listening and want to pay our bills, we're happy to take any donation. But
you better click that link. You better donate.
But really, it's a combination of supporting each other, support from the community, and then thankfully grant support. So we do try to pay everyone. So while the leadership team, we don't get paid for the management of the nonprofit. When we do our individual projects, we usually get a project grant, and then we're able to pay folks for the work they do there. So it's been a combination of like writing a lot of grants. I took one grant writing class for my first master's, and I have used that grant writing class. I have made back my money.
Flipping through that notebook.
Yeah. So shout out to my grant writing teacher. But no, really, it's just, I don't want to discourage anyone who's looking to maybe start an arts-based nonprofit or doing arts-based work, but it is hard work. And that is why, again, I'm excited about all the art that's coming up, because I think businesses and corporate sponsors and stuff are starting to see truly the impact of how if they give their money towards the arts, it can really go far, not just for their business, but for the community. And so that's part of Breaking Waves' mission, is to foster that and to convince the island community and people outside of these islands, like the federal government, and rich people in the states, that it's worth sending their money to places like Guam or the NMI, to develop the arts here, because I think we produce some of the best artists. I still think some of the best bands I've ever seen are here. And like, I think we're like an incubator for artists, and it's so, I think it's just so worth it for the community to invest their money into the arts, because there's so many positive impacts. Even if someone doesn't decide to become a theater art person full time, you learn so much that can be applied to different areas of your life.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm in and out of the arts when I feel like it. I think I write when I feel like it. I do things when I feel like it. But I think a lot about the lessons I learned when I'm in art spaces itself, right? So like just my very short stint in theater when I almost minored, but I kind of didn't want the extra class.
No, I hear you.
But I just think about how there's these moments of joy and fun that just seem like, just that moments of joy and fun are also can be very transformative moments
Right.
in your life. Learning, having fun on stage was also moment where it was having fun being vulnerable, having fun learning about myself through someone else, like having fun, being unafraid.
Yeah.
Right? And there's these tiny, like, little lessons
Yeah.
that I'm speaking of theater, but I think art in general, right?
Yeah.
Just like painting, releasing the work, even when you're writing, that's an act of personal vulnerability, but the act of sharing is just a huge thing. But in every kind of bit of this process, there's something to be learned about yourself. But again, word of the day, community.
Yes.
Right? Word of the day, community. But in connecting with yourself and sharing, to be able to be a part of like this broader like art scene or just community in general is also very very fulfilling.
Yes.
I would say.
Yeah.
I just recently joined a writers group.
Oh, I love that.
I know. Like, these guys are like writing manuscripts, and I'm here like, I wrote a silly little poem today.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's being in a space where you see people be brave.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's wonderful. And again, second word of the day, accessibility.
Accessibility, yeah.
Accessibility is like having these spaces be easier to find for people.
Yeah.
Right? I think I was fortunate to just kind of drop into these spaces. But one of the things with all this art scene coming up is I hope that people find it easier to drop in like I have.
Yes.
Be like, I don't know anybody here.
Yeah.
But everyone seems great. It seems safe.
Yep.
And, to have the opportunity that I have been fortunate to have in these random points in my life, I think it would just be transformative for so many people.
Yes, absolutely.
And I feel like you're doing that a lot with Breaking Waves. So that's why every time you guys have something, I'm always like, I don't really have social media, but I open it up every now and then.
Right.
Honestly, my social media accounts exist. If you guys find it, sorry. They exist. Like my Instagram, I say, hey, if there's a giveaway, tag me.
Yes.
Use me. Go ahead. Don't be embarrassed.
I am also that person that people will just tag, and I'm like, heck yeah, I hope you win.
Yeah, like you better get it. I'll like it.
Yeah.
I'll be the 1 in 3 friends.
Yes. Yes.
But why did I bring that up? Honestly, I forgot why I brought that up.
I think maybe just seeing when you see the events on Instagram and
Oh,
stuff.
like being like a silent cheerleader.
Yes,
you
thank
know.
you.
But also, I show up.
Yes.
I come to things, guys.
Yes, we love friend groups that watch productions.
Yeah.
Bring your friends.
Yeah. But also, hey, donate, guys.
Yes.
We just talked about
Yes.
find the donate button wherever it is.
Yes, wherever we put it. Yeah.
How can people not just support Breaking Waves?
Yeah.
You guys as a company, but also you as the director of humanities. How can someone, I guess, twofold question, support the arts?
Yeah.
Or kind of jump into it?
Yes, we love action items, so
Yeah.
happy to give my little action item list for you. But no, I just really want to echo your sentiments. Yeah, I think it's so beautiful the connections you can make, and whether you're someone who comes in and out or someone who's there all the time, that's actually the environment we want to foster. Of like, come join us, and if you come to one thing a year, that's cool, and if you come to every single thing, then that's cool too. You know, we appreciate anyone wherever they are, and that's skill level wise. If you know nothing about theater, or if you're the most advanced theater person in the world, and we'd love to learn from you too. For joining our productions or our events, follow us on Instagram at BWTC Guam, or sign up at our mailing list, which you can find the sign up at bwtcguam.com, because we share our opportunities. And the thing about theater is you don't just have to be an actor. I am not an actor, so let me be a testament to you can do the arts without having to be an actor or a painter, because I am none of those. I am a musician. I play the bass, but other than that, you will not see me on stage other than to give the welcoming speeches, or if I have a bass in my hand.
Backstage crew is so fun, guys.
Yes, Annie has worked
I love that.
backstage. Yeah.
I love it.
So we have so many opportunities. Like, even if you're like a business major who's just like, I need experience, we need marketing assistants. You know, we need development folks who help us solicit businesses and build partnerships. You know, there's set design, there's light design, and the thing is we're all about education, so we will take you at any level. Maybe you just have like an inkling of something, come talk to us. I have an open door policy. You know, you can just reach out to the Breaking Wave socials, and I will respond, and we can chat about opportunities, or hop into one of our workshops. That's always a great starter. I think at some point we're going to start doing like, maybe once every couple months, we'll just host like public game nights here at our space, and people can come, to play games. Play games, but also talk to us. So we're excited to launch those opportunities. And in terms of how we can use support, we definitely need people. So if you are not interested in joining, please tell your friends and your family. All ages, are welcome. And then, of course, like, word of mouth really helps us with our stuff. I'll end with some of our upcoming productions that you can share. And then monetary donations help, even in-kind donations help. We need chairs in our space. So if you're watching this and you maybe have like a spare folding chair, we will take chairs. But there's just so many different ways we can use support. And then same thing with like the humanities work, just as important. We will take donations. Really, we just want people to know we're around, and we want to know what you need from us and how we can support you too. So I guess my best way is talk to us, and we will tell you the ways we need support and the ways we can support you as well. So those are my little action items. I didn't really bullet point them as best as I wanted to, but you can find it in there.
Reverse and take down notes, guys.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
I think that is a beautiful way for us to kind of wrap up.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you would like to promo, you know?
Yes, to wrap it up, I just want to share a couple of things. So, on the humanities end, this will come out right before we're actually going to be hosting our first open house on Saturday, October 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to invite people to our office at the Reflection Center in Hagatnya, and we'll have food, we'll have a zine making workshop by one of our staff members, all free, of course, and it's just an opportunity to learn about the work we do as we get into this phase of reintroducing Humanities Guåhan to the public and the community. So please come over, and again, free food. I just like to emphasize that because that always seems to be the draw.
And you know what? That got me.
Yes.
That got me.
So Humanities Guåhan can be we're at Humanities Guåhan or humanitiesguahan.org to stay current on our events. And then for Breaking Wave, in November we're actually going to be premiering a show that addresses the climate crisis from the Pacifica lens. This show is really exciting because it's not yet completely written as of this time on October the second or third, whatever day this is, because we're actually working with an ensemble of folks with connections to Guam here and then and from the diaspora who are here for this project to create the show together. And the climate crisis is not something that can be dealt with by an individual, and so we don't think that an individual or two people should be writing about it in our space. So we're excited to have an ensemble of about 10 people working together to create this show. And so we premiere it on November 22nd, 23rd, 24th. More info on our Instagram and our website coming soon. But we're really excited to be able to share a show that will be multifaceted, multidisciplinary, integrating art, music, dance, theater to talk about the climate crisis in a way that's relevant to us, and not just talk about it, but inspire hope and encourage resiliency in the face of the changes we're all going through. So those are the two big things coming up, and then you can follow us for more.
All right, guys, you better follow. You better hit that follow button on every single socials they have. And I just want to thank CJ again for coming. I thought that it's been a while since I've done a podcast. Sorry, guys. But this has been such a great, just such a great conversation to have. I feel like, personally, I don't really get a lot of, time or space to talk about art in this kind of extended kind of period that I have. And I really appreciate everything you have to say, but not just that, everything that you've done so far with Breaking Wave and with Humanities and everything that you're going to do, right? I think you're doing such amazing, exciting work, and I can't wait for everybody, every single person to come and show up, right, guys?
Yes.
Right? We're showing up.
Let's do it. Yeah.
But anyway, thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you everybody for watching. This has been an amazing episode. Don't forget to also follow Fanachu on wherever you're watching this. I'm sure Facebook or YouTube or wherever. I don't remember where I'm supposed to upload it, but if you're watching it somewhere else, subscribe to that. And follow us for a lot of other amazing content. We also have a Patreon. If you guys want to subscribe to that, we have exclusive content there by so many amazing people. Hey, I love every single one person that goes on Fanachu. Totally forgot everybody right now. I feel like I'm doing an award speech where like they get their Oscar and they're like, I forgot to everybody that I have to thank. You know who you are.
Yes. Thank you.
So thank you. You know who you are. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing your work on Fanachu. Love you guys. And love you viewers. Until next time.
Thank you for having me. Bye.